Family owned and operated, A.G. Quinnell Well Drilling has been serving Sault Ste. Marie and surrounding area since 1968. For a free estimate, call 705-779-3909. A.G. Quinnell Well Drilling, available for all your water needs. 1944, Second Line West, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. A.G. Quinnell Well Drilling. Call 705-779-3909 for a free estimate today. First Local, supported by Tenaris Algoma Tubes. Kickstart your career. Tenaris is rapidly growing in Sault Ste. Marie and looking for individuals interested in rewarding production and technician roles. If you are ready for a progressive career opportunity with benefits in advanced manufacturing, then please send your resume to resumes@tenaris.com.
First Local, supported by The Refinery, the leader in women's fitness and transformations. 624 Wellington Street West in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Call 705-255-8895 for more information.
First Local, supported by Rick Mooney, sales representative for Street City Realty. Sold, the sign you want, Rick, the realtor you need.
Every day, people in crisis need someone to answer their call for help, to let them know they're not alone. Whenever people need someone, the Canadian Red Cross is there, on the phone lines and the front lines, around the world and here at home. But none of it would be possible without people just like you. No matter who you are, you have something to give. You can be that someone with the Canadian Red Cross. Learn more at redcross.ca/someone.
First Local, supported by Tammy Ovey. Are you looking for an agent who confidently knows the culture and community of Sault Ste. Marie? Call Tammy Ovey, 705-971-0171.
Rollers Bocce is now open, located downstairs at the Marconi. If you're new to bocce or love the game, Rollers is the place for you. Grab your friends and family and let the good times roll. Book your court today at rollersbocce.ca.
How's it going, everyone? It's Jacob Moore here at the On TV studios, letting you know there's been a slight change to 705 Sports. 705 Sports will now be airing Fridays at noon versus Fridays at 4 p.m. We will still be covering all your local, national, and international sports. The difference is now, while you're enjoying your lunch, you can check out myself, Dan Gray, and multiple different guests as we go over all your sports coverage. So make sure to tune in to 705 Sports Fridays at noon on our Facebook page and video on demand.
First Local, supported by the Canadian Bush Plain Heritage Centre, where adventure takes off. First Local, supported by Gary Chervinsky, Exit Realty, Lake Superior. Buying a home is a big decision, so is choosing the right agent. Call Gary Chervinsky, broker at Exit Realty, Lake Superior, 705-257-5432.
When I found out I had cancer, it was the hardest day of my life. But life is bigger than cancer.
Well, good morning and welcome to this Friday
Halloween edition.
Halloween edition of First Local Mornings. It is, of course, Friday, October the 29th. You are here with Craig and Heidi. Are you all set to not hand out candy because you were kind of on the fence?
I'm kind of thinking I probably will now. I just have to go buy some and also have to decorate. So I'm going to have a busy day tomorrow, but it's going to be a nice day tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
15 degrees and sunny.
Good.
So it's going to be a nice day. We got to pay our electrical bill here.
Yeah.
Or I kind of don't mind the dark, the mood lighting.
Well, it kind of hides the fact that I was up till late, you know, stitching a tiny ruffle onto a small girl's costume so she could wear it to school today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Super mom, right there. Let's talk about Facebook. Oh, someone paid the bill. Let's talk about Facebook. Has a new name now, Meta. He's throwing us into the 22nd century with virtual reality. I don't know.
Okay.
Meta is for a meta universe or metaverse or
Yeah,
something?
I saw the metaverse. I saw that. So now you're adding a layer by suggesting 3D. 3D what? Like, does that mean the memes? You can actually be
I
inside
don't know
a meme
what it is,
now?
but you're supposed to
Like,
be wearing goggles and you can interact in,
like with Facebook, you could wear goggles and.
yeah, but it's going to be called Meta.
Geez, just when you-
Metaverse. I have enough problem with our current universe.
I was just going to say,
Let
and
alone
just when
another
you
one.
thought Facebook couldn't get any darker.
Anyway, well, I'm going to throw it to you for the news, and I'm going to walk over here and try to do a spooky forecast.
Okay.
Okay.
We did bring you coverage earlier in the week, Monday to be specific, about a protest, a demonstration that was being held in front of City Hall in the hopes of catching the eye of the councillors and the mayor prior to and post City Council meeting. The protest, of course, being in support of increased funding and awareness around the challenges being faced in Sault Ste. Marie currently, having to do with addictions and, you know, mental health supports, and the challenges that individuals who may be grappling with these challenges, the challenges that they experience in accessing the required support. So in follow-up to that, 4 days later, 2 teepees as well as multiple tents are now dotting the landscape in front of the Ronald A. Irwin Civic Center. And the intention of this encampment, if you will, is to remind and to provide evidence on a daily basis that, you know what, these issues that exist within our city that have been documented and have been made so very public, they're not just going to go away. Okay, they require attention and action. So Sioux Online was present on site, and they did speak with organizers as well as the participants. And the feedback that Sioux Online did receive, I just lost my pack, sorry. The feedback that Sioux Online did receive is that they're not going to go away. They have no intention of going away until a resolution is proposed, is developed that is satisfactory in terms of addressing the issues currently plaguing the Sioux. So participants in the camps have said that they have heard from Mayor Provenzano on an almost daily basis about these crises. And other city officials have also stopped by to talk about the problems that need addressing. So, you know, people in support of this protest, the demonstration, have been coming and going throughout the days, bringing food and supplies and firewood, because of course it's getting cold at night, and Craig has spoken to us about that. So organizers are asking that if you would like to show your support, please do stop by, speak to the people that are there, and currently indicating once again that firewood is something that is in extremely short supply and is very much needed. So, you know, each day it would seem that more and more individuals who are apparently experiencing homelessness are bringing their shelters and their meager possessions. So we will continue to provide coverage as the situation, as the encampment develops. So there's that update. Now, having touched on the weather and knowing that this is the weekend that the kidlets want to go out and prance smartly in their little costumes, I think that it's time to get the final word on what the weather's going to be, although it may be too soon for that. I think right now we're just going to talk about today. Craig.
We are just talking about today, and today's going to be an actual pretty nice day. We're going to see some cloud. We may see a little bit of sun. We do see some rain showers to our south. Most of this is going to dissipate over the next couple of hours, so we're just going to be left with some cloudy periods, but very warm temperatures. This is a southerly flow, so our temperatures today should hit 13, 14 degrees by late this afternoon, and those temperatures are going to hold on for part of the weekend. This is what we look like for the 12 hours for today. This morning, mainly cloudy conditions. We are seeing a little bit of sun, just a tiny bit. 8 degrees though, so it's fairly mild right now for your morning. We're easily going to climb up to 13 degrees by this afternoon with cloudy conditions. Those clouds are going to stay with us for most of our evening, and then into Saturday morning, but then we're going to start seeing some clearing for Saturday morning, dropping down to 7 degrees only for tonight. So a pretty mild night. We have a pretty mild day tomorrow, and Sunday is looking still iffy. I'll tell you more about your complete Halloween forecast coming up in the 3-day forecast. Right now, we're sending it right back to Heidi.
Well, thanks for that, Craig. Nice to know that today, at the very least, will be fine. I'll keep my fingers crossed for Sunday, because every Halloween that I can remember in recent history has either been rainy and or snowy, and usually cold. So fingers crossed that the mild weather will hold. Okay, so more city-related news for you. You know, it is known, of course, that cities all over the world are attempting now to make their recovery from COVID-19. And in doing so, certainly, you know, there is that equally challenging balancing act of, you know, wanting to progress on one hand and wanting to move forward, but also addressing any financial backlash that has been experienced at the hand of the pandemic. Now, Sault Ste. Marie is also asking its own hard questions and debating, you know, a lot of really significant issues. On Monday, October 25th, you know, such an issue did come up at the City Council meeting. For some time now, Sault Transit has been slowly working to replace the fleet of older buses and, you know, in doing so, bring their system more current and more up to date. So that was visited in the discussions that were held at the City Council meeting on the 25th. Councillor Matt Shoemaker did voice concerns about the ever-rising cost of replacing 40-foot buses that currently navigate the city. So now he's tossing around some numbers, okay, because apparently the city of Sault Ste. Marie has entered into a group purchase agreement with a company called Metrolinx. So the price that we have been given, $592,307 plus HST, okay, and that's a per unit price. So this was priced, again, through a group purchasing system. And of course, Shoemaker has then questioned, is this cost cheaper than when we priced the same things on our own last year outside of this group purchase agreement? So the Director of Community Services, Brent Lamming, did respond. He acknowledged that yes, it is a little bit higher. The purchase price per unit now is $592,000, you know, give or take. Prior, back in 2020, when they originally costed it outside of the group purchase agreement that they have with Metrolink, the units were $559,000, and this included cameras. So the reason for the change, of course, is attributed to the impact of COVID-19, especially on the rising costs for inputs, so the materials required to create the buses, namely steel. So the group buying purchase program represents 52 municipalities and fellow municipalities, for example, like North Bay, Temiskaming, Thunder Bay, and Sudbury. So if we didn't use Metrolinx, we would anticipate this cost would be substantially higher than the deal that has been put forward for us. Now, one of the disadvantages of working in a group purchasing program such as that that we have until the year of 2025 with Metrolink TPI is that once you've been provided a cost, you are not able to kind of bid around and see if you can get a better deal elsewhere. So The second part of the discussion came from Councillor Paul Christian, and he was kind of looking at it from a different perspective, questioning the size of the replacement buses. So he did say, you know, these seem to be larger versions of a transit bus. And he wondered, again, if that was absolutely necessary. You know, he acknowledges that he is not a manager at Sault Transit Services. But, you know, he did feel comfortable speaking anecdotally and just saying, you know, you do see the buses riding around, and it isn't often that you see them even close to being at full capacity. So, you know, wondering if looking at purchasing smaller replacement buses might kind of benefit the city from a cost-saving perspective. And Lamming did respond to that, saying that there were 2 35-foot buses on the books over the next 2 years. So, you know, willing to give up 5 feet. Okay, so I'm being nudged to get on to other stories. So, all right, let's get into some crime then. Crime. On October 28th, yesterday, officers with the Crime Suppression Unit, the Drug Enforcement Unit, and the Emergency Services Unit, as well as Patrol Services, charged 34-year-old Marilyn Byron, 44-year-old Stephen Buzzano, 38-year-old Sean Reedy, and 48-year-old Marlene St. Germain with possession of a controlled substance for the purpose of trafficking. Around 12:41 a.m., officers did observe a pickup truck traveling in the area of Cathcart Street and Beverly Street and determined that the vehicle had in fact been reported stolen. Officers attempted to conduct a traffic stop at this time. The vehicle did attempt to avoid the police and struck a parked vehicle in the 200 block of Gloucester Street and 2 police vehicles. Officers approached the vehicle. Mr. Reedy was in the driver's seat and the 3 other accused were passengers. All 4 individuals were arrested. During a subsequent Hello? Sorry, my audience can't hear you, but I can. So, shh. During a subsequent search of the area, officers did locate 40 grams of a substance believed to be fentanyl, purple, pink, and dark pink, approximately 35 grams of a substance believed to be crystal methamphetamine, approximately 44 grams of a substance believed to be cocaine, 1.86 grams of a substance believed to be heroin, a counterfeit $100 American bill, and approximately $1,700 in Canadian currency. So they are providing an estimated street value of the narcotics seized being in the range of $29,186. A search of Mr. Reedy found him to be in possession of a concealed knife, and further investigation revealed that Ms. Saint-Germain was wanted for failing to appear in court. Now, predictably and correspondingly, there is a very robust list of charges pending against these individuals. It is posted to our website at SiouxOnline.com, so I will give you the opportunity to go to our website and read the charges if that is what you would like to do. Final note, I will say that we did bring you news of a vehicle that had collided with the Circle K store at the corner of Wellington Street West and Henrietta. The follow-up to that story is that yesterday around 3:40 a.m., officers with Patrol Services responded to a single vehicle, striking the 600 block of Wellington Street West. Officers did conduct a traffic stop because when they did arrive, they observed a pickup truck attempting to leave the area. They approached the vehicle and identified the driver as 55-year-old Robert Cowan. While speaking to the driver, officers developed grounds to believe that he was, in fact, his ability to operate a vehicle was impaired by drugs. He was arrested and later refused to provide a blood sample. He is charged with dangerous operation, impaired driving, alcohol and or drug, and failed to comply with demand. He was released on an appearance and is scheduled to appear in court on December 20th. Okay. We are going to head to a commercial now to give you an opportunity to hear other voices, not just my own, from our worthy sponsors, the United Way, Maker North, which is special today because we've got Joseph Bertrand from Maker North live in the studio with me here. So go fill your cup and come on back.
First Local, supported by the Canadian Bush Plain Heritage Centre, where adventure takes off. First Local, supported by Gary Chervinsky, Exit Realty, Lake Superior. Buying a home is a big decision, so is choosing the right agent. Call Gary Chervinsky, broker at Exit Realty, Lake Superior, 705-257-5432.
When I found out I had cancer, it was the hardest day of my life. But life is bigger than cancer.
First Local, supported by United Way. Help make your community a better place. Show your local love and donate today. Welcome back. Friday, October the 29th, Halloween weekend. I am thrilled to be sitting here with Joseph Bertrand of Maker North. Joseph and I have been friends for some time now, and he is one of my favorite people to speak to, very uplifting and inspiring. Joseph, welcome.
Thank you for having me this morning, Heidi. It's wonderful to be here on a Halloween Friday.
Yes.
You know, I'm always looking forward to sitting down to talk with you. You know, I always learn so much from the morning show. I'm a regular watcher, regular viewer of the show. So, you know, it's really interesting for me to actually be on the other side of the camera this morning. And thank you for inviting me.
Well, of course. I do speak of the good work that you do at Maker North frequently because, you know, as I always say, and I truly believe this, you know, if you have a problem and you're not sure how to solve it, you should definitely go to Maker North and have a conversation. So 3D printing, laser cutting, woodworking, like, is there any limit to what you can do?
Thank you, Heidi. Yeah, we use the latest technology to solve local problems. For example, business people, artists, entrepreneurs, people who are looking to create objects or recreate objects that are difficult to obtain or no longer made. So we use the latest technology. The original intent was to open the business to be able to assist local entrepreneurs and artists to be able to create their own designs. So we've used it during the pandemic to create face shields. We've used the technology that we have to be able to engage local entrepreneurs and, you know, have some fun. It's a lot of fun at Maker North. The people that I work with Riley and yourself and other entrepreneurs that we engage locally, we get to be able to create a lot of things to help the local economy.
Cool. So what would you say, like, what stands out in your mind as the coolest, most innovative thing that you've had the opportunity to produce?
You know, I'll give you a good example of the coolest thing that we get to do is this weekend just passed, we were invited to the Bush Plane to participate in their Bush Plane youth organization. They bring people in. So what they do is they engage the youth through memberships and that to be able to give them an experience to take a look at the facility. So they invited me to come down and bring my scanner. So we actually scanned youth on the weekend and recreated images of the youth that came in and showed them how they can actually use this technology to be able to create themselves or a likeness of themselves over the weekend. So it was a lot of fun. They were really engaged. It was really nice. So scanning technology, 3D printing and laser cutting. I think scanning is the coolest.
Okay, awesome. Well, you know what, and that just kind of twigs me because I did do an interview with you. I want to say it goes back probably about 2 months. You were running a short-term youth-focused program, I believe, for students between grade 7 and grade 9.
That's correct.
Exposing them to potential careers in the STEM sector. How was that received?
That was amazing. We had a partnership with Science North,
yes,
the Bush Plane Museum, and Maker North. What we did was Maker North hosted a 6-week program where we trained and engaged youth to use the equipment that we have on site. So we were actually able to get them to make their own designs over the course of the camp. So underprivileged and underserviced youth were brought in for 6 weeks in cohorts, and it was all done safely at the Bush Plane. My thanks to Edie and the rest of the team at the Bush Plane for making this happen. And we were able to actually engage those youth to be able to give them some ideas of what the jobs of the future may include. We were doing stuff that traditionally they would never have a chance to access. So,
fantastic. That is fantastic. So, I mean, like what I'm hearing from you really is, you know, like Maker North then really a hub in the community in terms of investing in the local economy, investing in the local entrepreneur population as well as the youth, right? Because we don't want to miss that opportunity there. And sometimes I have felt from a personal perspective, there is a lack of like hands-on engagement available to youth to really kind of get them stimulated. So I was really, that's why I wanted to talk to you about that program. I was really interested in that.
it's huge. It's, you know, during COVID in the past 18 months, you know, our business, our makerspace side of the business had to close due to the pandemic. However, it allowed us to be able to pivot and to be able to focus on online services. So
Yes.
we're working right now with a large group across Ontario to provide micro-credentials in 3D printing and other educational services across Ontario. So
Yes.
I'm pretty excited about that. Then there's some other things that are going on in the background right now that are really amazing. We're going to get an opportunity to partner up with other people in the community. They've expressed some interest, so I really can't say too much more yet, but I do want to leave a bit of a teaser that there could be some interesting announcements over the next, say, 4 to 6 months about what we're doing within the community and abroad.
Well, that's some good news as far as I'm concerned, and I look forward to sharing that information with our audience as it becomes available. And Joseph, just so thrilled to have you in today. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me, Heidi. Have a great Halloween, and don't let the costumes get you down if you got to do any repairs.
All right. Go fill your cup and listen to the words of our sponsors, one of which is Maker North, and come on back.
First Local, supported by James Seaton, Mortgage Specialist. Your new home doesn't come with mortgage advice. I do. Call James Seaton Mortgage Specialist, RBC 705-975-1519.
Just once in a while, at parties and stuff. If that's what your kid says, they'll probably also tell you that it's not a big deal. But that's no reason not to talk about it. You could tell them that you think that's a good thing and that you're really happy they don't use it that often. Then ask them why. Maybe deep down they know it's bad, they just need your help realizing it. From there, it should be pretty easy to drop off the hint that their brain is still growing and that they shouldn't smoke pot. At least not until they're older.
Visit drugfreekidscanada.org for more tools to help start the conversation.
Well, I just want to once again thank Joseph not only for coming in and being a very engaging and dynamic guest, but for bringing me a coffee. Yes. And I've heard wonderful whispers of a box of muffins awaiting me in the lunchroom. So thank you again, Joseph. I'm sorry, Jacob, what was the... Okay, we're going to hop over to Craig now for the 3 days. See, I can be taught for the 3 days so that, you know, we parents can properly dress our children for trick-or-treating, like it doesn't always involve 14 layers and a cape. Take it away, Craig.
Heidi, somewhat of a spooky forecast, not necessarily for Halloween night, but for next week, and I'll get to that in just a second. Right now, this is what we look like today, and this morning we continue to see the southerly flow of air. That's why we're kind of mild right now. We're going to be mild today as we continue to be under the southerly flow, but we're also going to see a substantial amount of cloud. I'm not going to say we're not going to see any sun, but most of the day we're going to see some cloud, but we're going to stay dry. We'll take a look at the radar. We'll show you there is some rain around the area, but most of this is just going to dissipate over the next couple of hours, and we're just going to see basically cloud for our day. And again, we're going to stay on the mild side. Let's take a look at the temperatures or the systems map for today. This is that whole whack of rain that looks way worse than it actually is. All of this is kind of falling apart as it approaches to the north. Most of this rain is actually traveling towards the east coast, so they can have it. We're going to stay dry for today. Now let's take a look at our temperatures. 13 degrees for our high today. That's about 9 degrees warmer than we should be. 10 degrees in Wawa, 10 in Timmins, and also 12 degrees in Sudbury. So we are all looking at these nice, cozy, mild temperatures for today. Don't get used to them though. Let's take a look at the setup for next week and also into the winter time. This is what we look like, and I've been saying that most of our snow for this winter, just like last winter, is going to be with lake effect. And you can see that polar jet. This is the position for next week. We are in for a big change next week as we usher in some cooler temperatures. Now this isn't Arctic air, but it's substantially colder air. You can see most of the warmth is being pushed towards the southern US, and that's where it's going to stay next week. So this is what we look like for the next 3 days. For today, a mix of sun and cloud, temperatures nice and warm at 13 degrees. Look at Saturday. Enjoy Saturday. Too bad Saturday isn't Halloween, because we're going to see lots of sun, 15 degrees for your high, and then we start seeing some cooler temperatures come in for Sunday. Still mild though for your day, and right now it looks like those showers are going to be in the morning and sometime in the afternoon, and then revamp sometime in the evening, probably around 8:30, where we could actually start seeing some snow mixed in with that, rain showers. And next week's looking pretty cool. We'll talk about the 7-day forecast coming up at the end of the show. Right now, we're going to send it back to Heidi.
Rain predicted for Halloween. What a surprise there. Looks like once again I'll be carrying an umbrella as part of my ensemble to shelter a tiny person. Okay, so I wanted to, some information just came in with regards to the outbreak that was declared at Riverview Public School. Algoma Public Health, of course, is reinforcing the message that the outbreak will be declared as being over when 14 days have passed with no further evidence of transmission that can be reasonably attributed to the school and the participants within the school environment. So if students and staff remain in virtual learning for a 14-day period after the last COVID-19 exposure within the school setting, the risk of transmission and exposures in the school community is significantly reduced. So Algoma Public Health is saying that they believe it is safest and best to return all students after the outbreak has been declared over. Therefore, the official word is all students will now return on Monday, November the 8th. I'll give, well, this is not my phone, but it was provided to me because I have the feed of social media and I didn't want to disrupt it, okay? But in all seriousness, we'll rip through a few numbers locally. I'm getting that Band-Aid feeling again, so here we go. Saddle up. Algoma Public Health is reporting 6 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 as of yesterday. All cases are from Sault Ste. Marie and area, with all 6 cases listing cause of exposure as close contact. Cases 513 through 518 are reported to be self-isolating, and of course the good people of Algoma Public Health have, through contact tracing, notified anybody considered to have been in close exposure range. So that brings rolling totals locally to 173,860 tests having been administered, out of which we have confirmed 518 cases. Of those 518 cases, 36 are considered to be active. No one currently in hospital. We have resolved 482. Provincially speaking, yesterday the number of new confirmed COVID-19 cases did increase slightly to 409. A rise from obviously the day before. Another 3 people have died as a result of the virus, bringing the provincial death toll to 9,865. Provincially, 31,383 tests were completed to provide a test positivity rate of 1.3%. That full article is posted to the website. I'm going to skip over that in this moment. I want to get to a factoid because you know what? Those numbers, factually as they are, let's continue to do the things that have been shown to work. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Okay. Now, this day in 1998, October 29th, 1998, I want to talk to you about sea monkeys in space. I had sea monkeys. I used to read the Archie comics, and they'd have those like pages and pages of ads. There they are.
They never looked like that, though.
No, they didn't. But you know, yeah, like look at them. There was definitely something happening in the bowl, and it wasn't just algae. Algae? Algae. Astronaut John Glenn takes sea monkey eggs into space aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery. After returning to Earth, they were hatched 8 weeks later, apparently unaffected by their voyage. Unfortunately, earlier experiments with sea monkey eggs, why were they messing around with sea monkey eggs? I don't know. Earlier experiments with sea monkey eggs that had traveled to the moon and back were not so successful, as higher levels of cosmic rays adversely affected the eggs, and only 10% of them survived into adulthood. So sea monkeys were invented and marketed in comic books by Harold von Braunhut, who also marketed X-ray specs, among other things. Oh, those pages and pages of those like little cheap and cheerful products that you could get. All right, social media then, let's get into it. I don't have to look at the monitor today because I've got everything right in front of me. All right, Margaret McKeag beating everybody to the punch, saying good morning all. Good morning to you, Margaret. Happy Halloween. Bradley Evoy, good morning with 3 exclamation points. Happy Frightful Friday and a peace sign. Good morning to you, Bradley. I hope that you enjoy the weekend. Evelyn McColeman, good morning. I am back. Happy Friday. Good morning, Evelyn McColeman. Welcome back. We are glad to have you. Enika, good morning, everyone. Have a good Friday and a good weekend. Do you celebrate Halloween in the Netherlands, Enika? That's a question that I have, just curious. Kimberly Seabrook, happy Friday, everyone, with, you know, a smattering of emojis upon offer. Happy Friday to you, Kimberly. Merci beaucoup. Good morning. So happy to see people standing up for each other and missing home. Yes, I've often remarked that the Sioux does have a tendency to, you know, collectively come together when we are addressing crises and issues. So very nice to see that show of support for sure. Enika, tomorrow night the clock goes back 1 hour, wintertime.
Not here.
Not here. That's in the Netherlands. Reminding other viewers, Enika is in the Netherlands. Next Sunday we go back. No. Yeah?
Yep.
Fall back. Okay.
Yep.
Good. Bradley, whoever invented knock-knock jokes should get a Nobel Prize. Wah, wah. Sally Doherty, homelessness is everywhere. It is a global issue. 100%, Sally. Well said. I believe you're a new viewer, or if not a new viewer, at least a first-time commenter. So thank you for your thoughts, and I would agree. Chris Bridges, good morning and happy Friday. Today's Halloween facts. The first recorded instance of guising in North America was in 1911. A regional Canadian newspaper from Kingston, Ontario published an article Right, here we go. About children disguising in costumes as they roam for food and coins around their neighborhood. As for the term trick or treat, the first printed mention was in 1927, also in Canada. It was from the newspaper Blackie Herald, based in Alberta. Oh, interesting. Okay. Ooh, Vicky Bailey. Vicky, good morning. She says, good Friday morning, and good Friday morning to you. We've got some people watching. And Enika, responding to my question. Well, some people do, but it is not common. Okay, interesting. Always nice to have, different perspectives. Oh my gosh, we're over. We've got, I just smashed through the 8:30 mark. Okay, everybody. Well, Craig, good luck to you this weekend. Defend yourself by giving out candy.
Well, we're going to do the 7-day forecast, right?
Oh, no.
You keep on forgetting about the 7-day forecast. It's all important. Let's take a look, because we have some major changes coming next week as we see some cold air come in. This is the first shot of colder air coming in for this, well, actually the second shot, actually, but this is going to last a little longer. We do have temperatures rebounding by next weekend, but we also have a chance of snow several days next week. Obviously, it's not going to stay because our temperatures are above freezing, but it's going to look a lot more like winter next week than this week. So Be prepared.
Yay, so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. All right, well, again, I hope you, now, the official ending, now I hope that you all have a great Halloween weekend. Thank you for hanging out with us for as long as you have. Look forward to seeing you on Monday, and we will leave you with some spooky footage. See you next
Happy
week.
Halloween.
How's it going, everyone? It's Jacob Moore here at the On TV studios, letting you know there's been a slight change to 705 Sports. 705 Sports will now be airing Fridays at noon versus Fridays at 4 p.m. We will still be covering all your local, national, and international sports. The difference is now, while you're enjoying your lunch, you can check out myself, Dan Gray, and multiple different guests as we go over all your sports coverage. So make sure to tune in to 705 Sports Fridays at noon on our Facebook page and video on